Woo! I want to start out by letting you guys know that I am celebrating 8 years of not drinking alcohol. Thank you. I still smoke a shit ton of weed though. So, spoiler alert, I guess. But yeah, what the thing is because I'm an Alcoholics Anonymous, not Narcotics Anonymous. And did you know that AA and NA people do not get along? Dude, it's like Bloods and Crips shit. They fucking hate each other. It's like Norteños and Serenos and fucking Cesar Chavez Park. It's nuts. And I go to these things and I'm like, I still smoke weed. And they're like, you know what, Jimmie, you're not clean. You're not clean, Jimmie. You're not clean. You still smoke weed. You're not clean. You're not clean. And I was just like, you know what? You are very judgmental for somebody that used to suck dick for crank. And I met a lady at one of these events one time, and she came up to me. She was like, you know, addicts have a fat emotional hole inside of them that they try and fill up with drugs and booze, and more drugs and more booze, until they realize one day that they got to fix themselves before they kill themselves. And then she looked me dead in the eye and said, my new addiction is dick. And I was like, what an awesome way to fill up that hole. So, I found out too that there's some shit called Gamblers Anonymous. Did you know that? Do you know they have the balls to do a 50-50 raffle at this thing? So, did y'all go to DARE? You know, I'm talking about drug abuse, resistance education. Like a cop would literally come to your classroom when you're a little kid and hold up a bag of coke and be like, kids, this is an 8-ball of cocaine. Don't you ever, 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 ever pay more than $1.50 for that. And then he gave us the number to his guy, and when I called it, it was my dad. So I haven't had a drink of alcohol in 8 years. This year I'm also celebrating smoking weed for 30 years. The very first time I ever got busted smoking weed was by my mom. She caught me on the side of the house, and my life turned into an after-school special like that. She snatched a bag of weed out of my hand. She's like, where did you get this weed from, Jim? Who gave this to you? I want to know. Because you got ripped off. Look at all the seeds and stems. And then she gave me the number of her guy, and when I called it, it was my dad. So, I found out I have dyslexia. I never knew that I had dyslexia. I just thought I was bad at math my whole life. And it turns out that this is a disability. And because when I'm driving, sometimes I'll see a sign that says supercuts, and I'll think it says supercuts. And then I'll giggle to myself and I'll keep driving. That's dyslexia. Sometimes I mix up my words and it gets embarrassing. Like I was having sex and I was trying to talk dirty and I was trying to say, tell me you like this big dick in your little pussy. But it accidentally came out, tell me you like this little dick in your big pussy. And she was all, finally a man that's honest. And then she got way into it. She was like, fuck me that little dick, fuck me this little dick. Fuck this giant pussy. Fuck this giant pussy. And then I had to act like I was into big pussies. I was like, yeah, babe, your pussy's like an old beat up catcher's mitt. Yum, yum, yum. So this is something they don't tell you when you quit drinking. You have to learn how to get laid again. Because when you drink, I don't know if you realize how easy it is. Because you can just walk up to a stranger at a bar and be like, I'm cute, you're cute. Let's have some drinks. Let's have some shots. Let's see where we wake up in the morning. But when you don't drink, you can't just walk up to a stranger at a bar and be like, I think you're cute. Why don't you have some drinks? Why don't you have some shots? And see where you wake up in the morning. Because that comes off a little Bill Cosby. You have to be witty and charming and engaging and personable. You have to have what they call game. You have to make a connection with somebody. And then at the end of the night, you have to look somebody dead in the eye and say, are we gonna fuck later? Or should I eat the rest of this burrito? So I had a lady stay the night at my house because I was witty and charming and personable. And she thought it was weird that my 100-pound black lab slept across the foot of the bed. Is that weird? Thank you, I appreciate that. No, she thought it was really weird, especially when we were fucking and I used the dog as leverage. And then I have a little chihuahua's a freak and started licking everybody's asses. And then we were spooning right after we got done having sex, and she was all, she farted right on my dick. She crotch dusted me. And then she tried to be all, was that you or the dog, babe? And I was like, I know it was you because I felt the wind. So, before I get here, guys, I want to say thanks. I also want to let you guys know that, please get home safe tonight. A few years ago, I almost died in a car wreck, and I had fallen asleep driving. I smashed into the wall, drove up an overpass, jumped over the overpass, and then rolled down the other side. And while this was happening, Van Halen's Jump was playing on the radio. And I remember being like, I do not want to die while Van Halen is playing. And then I was like, at least it's not a Sammy Hagar song, but still. So the car is careening towards this tree. My entire life, I've had this reoccurring nightmare that when I wake up and I'm in my bed. So the car is careening towards a tree, and I'm like, oh my God, this is it. And I tried to wake up, and I was like still in the car, and I was like, God, this is really it. So I put my foot up on the dash like this and pulled really hard. And the car turned, and the tires were flat, and they dug into the dirt, and the car jerked, and the fishtail in the back of the car hit the tree. And when that happened, the force was so strong it broke my arm, and the bone shot out of my arm. And when that happened, I know I was pretty close to death, because in the shotgun, my soul was sitting there. And it looked at me, looked at my arm, and looked at me and went, oh God! And then the airbag went off, and I broke my nose. I got out of the car, and as I'm walking towards the side of the road, a guy had stopped. And he was like, hey, I already called 911. I witnessed the accident. By the way, don't look at your arm right now. And I looked down, my arm was all twisted and mangled like this. So I just don't know why I did this, but I grabbed it, twisted everything back into place. And it hurt so bad, I started throwing up all over the place. And he was like, I can't believe you just did that. And that's when Highway Patrol showed up and thought that he was a drunk driver and started giving him a roadside sobriety test. Which was awesome because it gave me a chance to hide all my weed. And I had to have surgery on my arm, and I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I don't even have a radius bone. I have a titanium rod right there. And as they're wheeling me to have surgery, the anesthesiologist said to me, hey, they told us that you're a stand-up comedian. Can you tell us a joke right now? And I was like, well, doc, to be honest with you, you guys asking me to tell you a joke right now. It's a lot like me asking you guys to do the surgery for free. And he looked at my chart, and he said, you're on Medi-Cal. Tell us a fucking joke. Thanks a lot, everybody. Jimmie. Have a good